Ron Wetherington has been involved with Florida Farm Bureau for nearly 60 years, becoming a Hillsborough County Farm Bureau member in 1958. While serving on many prestigious state and national boards, it is his dedication to his hometown of Plant City and the quiet way he makes a big impact that sets Ron apart from others. Ron grew up in the Dover area and was active in FFA in high school and received his American Farmer degree.
My dad was his FFA advisor when he was in school, so I got to know him when I was a kid and he was in the FFA. And he was active in all of the FFA activities then and was always going to the conventions and competing in contests. And then when he got to be the owner of the Ford tractor dealership in Tampa, he was very, very supportive of all the chapters here in Hillsborough County, doing whatever he could to help them.
Ron has been involved in a number of agribusinesses over the years, and he was a strawberry farmer, serving as president of the Florida Strawberry Growers Association during their early years. Ron was one of the first to recognize the importance of developing Florida-grown varieties, knowing it would be vital to the sustainability of the industry.
You know, when you have a situation where you've got 1.3 million people and you've got a very large agricultural community, you have an opportunity for having difficulties. And Ron was one of the first people that I sought out over 30 years ago as a true leader who happened to be likable too, which was a big difference. He has always picked up the mantle whenever there's been a challenge. He's been there not only as a source of inspiration, but also a tremendous role model. And you don't find that very often.
His love of youth and strawberries were brought together with his lifetime of service to the Florida Strawberry Festival.
Ron Wetherington has been a driving force there. He's been on the board for 40 years. He's been the ring man for the kids selling their swine and steers there. He is a remarkable individual, and he must have been responsible for hundreds of thousands of dollars going to these kids, helping them go to college, helping them become successful.
And Christmas Lane, the gigantic Christmas light display that is the labor of love of the Wetherington family, recently moved to the festival grounds, as the display that has been featured on television with over 35,000 visitors per Christmas season has outgrown the homestead. Ron served on the Florida Farm Bureau State Board for 20 years, as well as vice chair of several American Farm Bureau commodity committees. He served on the Farm Credit Board of Directors and was chairman of the Loan Committee. Ron is masterful at making things happen, especially in the legislative process.
His relationship with politicians is good because they can tell that he has a passion for what he's talking about, and he has a deep knowledge of what he's talking about. So political representatives are anxious to do the right thing, and when they get good information and good reliable source of information, I think they capitalize on that, and I think Ron is a good source of information, reliable information.
He always comes up with fresh ideas, but his stature within the community and on the boards that we have served together, when Ron speaks, people listen. He comes with a very level-headed, common sense approach towards things, and he always comes up with a potential solution towards a problem.
Ron's an unspoken leader. Ron gets more done behind the scenes. I can call Ron and say, this is what the issue is, and he'll say, let me make a phone call. I'll get back to you. And whatever the issue was that I called him about gets resolved. Ron does more behind the scenes than any man I think I've ever known.
Another impressive talent is his ability to raise funds for important causes, be that legislative or more personal causes closer to home.
Ron was on our capital campaign committee for our ICU project. We raised $1 million for the ICU, and Ron was an integral part of making that happen.
Ron has been married to Faye for 59 years. They have 3 adult children, Rhonda, Shayla, and Lane, and 3 grandchildren. Ron and Faye are an inseparable force.
Ron and Faye are a team. Ron and Faye you get one with the other. Faye was on our committee, but Ron was involved in everything that Faye did. I really see them as always together. And usually if I'm working with Faye on something, Ron's involved. If I'm working with Ron on something, Faye is supportive as well. They really are the yin and yang.
Ron's love of agriculture and his community can't be overstated, but it's his ability to touch lives, both personally and professionally, that will be his legacy.
Whenever I first become a deputy with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, I knew long-term goal that I wanted to be an agricultural deputy. I planted a seed, and all I can say is there was a lot of people that watered it, and I'm sure he put a little bit of water on it.
He's always thinking of how he might be able to make things better, and I think that's a tremendous quality that he has. He's not satisfied with the status quo. He always wants to make things better.
He gets things done without fanfare. He doesn't ever put the spotlight on himself, but he manages to find the right person to solve the problem, and that's a rare talent.
Ron Wetherington is a remarkable individual in the way that he gets things done, and he has this ability that not many people have. He can be the general or he can be the private, whatever the situation calls for, and he has absolutely no ego when it comes to doing that. Just get it done and get it done right.
For his tireless nearly 6 decades of service to the vocation of agriculture, Florida Farm Bureau is proud to recognize Ron Wetherington as a Distinguished Service Award recipient for 2016.